Hello people of the internet, it's your boy Skinny Penis with another video, incredible, with the Hindenburg. After the lighthouse out, we can play the Hindenburgler. Good timing on that one. We have the Bremen, and we can play the Hindenburg. And I mean, I'm still like, I played the Hindenburg lighthouse in randoms yesterday. It's like, I'm definitely convinced that this thing here, I personally like it more than Bremen, and I think objectively it has a bit more game impact with Lighthouse Spec than Bremen. Because there's a few ships that you just penetrate with this one, but not with Bremen. So like here again, Satsuma deck, Libertard. I think Marco Polo deck too. Don't know if it gets the 55 from Lepanto, and Baiji deck, I think too. So like, once again, the BBs are being tortured by me. Pen damage is always kind of better. Also, the range farming on this thing is just straight up better than Bremen. But yeah, we got Ocean. It's been a long time for my videos. Or in my videos that I had Ocean. Ocean a bit of sus, as I talked about how to turn out in lighthouse specs with Zhao using islands and stuff. Well, we do not have an island, so it's going to be a bit rough to get into a decent forward position and kited. So it's probably going to end up with me being kited very, very far away. And yeah, trying to reverse in basically. Because as you see, they're still pretty far away. Ocean also tends to be base wank Fiesta, so they're going to stay in base. I'm trying to get as close as possible and then turn out. I think it's already time. I don't really want to risk it. Like, I can just reverse in. That should be fine enough. This is far enough away for me to make a safe turn. And then just start reversing into the map. Don't want to drift too far into the flanks on this map anyways, because it is a pretty, what's it called? Yeah, pretty small map. That's what people forget about Ocean. It's actually not that large. That's why cruisers have a hard time kind of against the BBs. The BBs just have way closer ranges to work with. I think, yeah, this is already in range. And it's no fire prevention. Well, game's sadly dropping FPS again on me. What can you do? We were going to start farming the Baija bit, and then maybe the Burgogna. There you go. Like, also the range farming is obviously better. Like, Bremen has just a harder time overall to hit people at these kind of ranges. That's very normal, because the arcs are just worse, whereas this thing here has a bit faster travel time. So for me, very comfy to shoot people at these distances. Obviously gonna go over the spec after the game. I think the guy DCP'd the fire. Yep. The Borg, I mean. But he's sadly also dark. Oh, there he is again. I'm gonna pop Hydro, because I don't know where exactly the... I'm just gonna keep reversing. Sadly no fire. I wonder which DD it is. It's a Z46. Okay, yeah, that's not that bad with Torbs. Like, it's kind of whatever. But yeah, just start kiting into the map in reverse, basically. Using your plane, trying to get into... But if you reverse in a white line, obviously it's a bit harder for you to dodge. Sadly, the plane will go down, and the Satsuma is not in normal range yet. We're gonna have a problem again with the... Oh, wait, there's the Z. There's no fire prevention Satsuma, but sadly I won't be able to really fuck him over. I can fuck over the Z though. Back turrets at least. It is what it is. I'm dark. Nothing in range. A classic for this map. The battleships are just sitting in spawn. Marco Polo is coming in range a bit. But yeah, overall, in my opinion, the Hinden is a better farmer in randoms than Bremen, maybe even. It's only a few ships and scenarios where Bremen really accelerates over Hindenburg, like being far superior. Like mid-range to close range flat turns. If you can't get citadels with Hinden, the Bremen will just offer more AP DPM. But then again, Hindenburg can citadel cruises that Bremen will never. So like it's a trade-off. Akimov is coming, kind of want to angle out. Yeah, Akimov is looking for an angle to drop me. Unfortunately. $10k, even though I'm perfectly ass into the Naki drop. That's fairly unfortunate if you ask me. Well. I did lose a lot of HP already, and the battleships in spawn are not really playing the game. So I'm currently thinking about what to do. Probably need to wait for at least another heal. Play a bit behind my full HP BBs that also don't want to play the game. It's kind of like the classic ocean game. Interestingly enough, the other side gets the lip turret that runs it down. That would have been the perfect target for me to farm and fuck and farm. But yeah, obviously Bremen, I wouldn't play it with Lighthouse like this, because as you can see, it's a bit hard to stay in the fight. With Bremen, you have an even harder time keeping good shots on target. You have to be a bit closer to really hit easy. I'm gonna fire on the Borg again. Now he's gonna reverse out and I don't have him in range. Yeah, it's a bit of a shitty situation here, not gonna lie. I'm gonna pop my second last heal and go a bit closer. I want to kind of get into range of the Satsuma. That'd be great. Pretty meh game until now. Because I already know that late game is not going to be easy with me already having lost so much HP. But we will try. You never know what the game randomly starts giving you. We can also farm the cruisers. See, they have the same issue that I had, where like they can't really play close enough to get guns on target. So now they sit way too far ahead in the middle of the map. In the Anna and the Prince Adalbert, so pretty easy targets. Maybe a little permafire here would be great. The carrier's coming again. Gonna be a lot of HP lost once again to the airstrike. Don't necessarily understand why he's so eager to strike me out of all people. 14.5, very reasonable, very reasonable. Like the Conda in the corner, for example, is a bigger issue. I could probably load AP here, by the way. Conda in the corner is a bigger issue. There's also DDs from us still running around, doing things. Yeah, fairly questionable overall. We're also down on points. 1 minute 10 until I have my next plane. I am dark now. My Montana is now in the middle of nowhere. Dying. Yukishima is wide. No more healing. It's like pretty rough to make this map work with the spec if the BBs play that passive. We can look for the definitely look for the Z here, and then if we get mid cap it should be very easy to win. Yep, the Z died. The Beige is also coming into range. There's BB in Aegis that actually comes into my normal range, let's say. We start farming again. Maybe one day the Satsuma will also come into our range. We don't know. Maybe. Gotta kill the Beige real quick. I don't, as I said, I don't know if I pen that one's deck would be thicker than 51. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% on that one. But it looks like I'm penetrating a bit more than like a Bremen would. Played it yesterday, the Lighthouse Hinden, and I had to say, like, it was definitely the same kind of outcome. Or similar, if not better outcome than like a Lighthouse Bremen. So I really sometimes don't get the hype. Sure, as said, there is these cool moments where you just obliterate something flat with your obscene AP DPM. But apart from that, okay, he's also dead. I'm going to reverse in now, switch my guns to the other side, and then use my plane on the Satsuma. Would be interesting to see the exact same scenario, like map-wise, with a Bremen, because I really don't think it's that easy to hit stuff at range with it, so I think I would struggle a bit more. But yeah. As you can see, Lighthouse is just a demented spawn kite farming. This thing ate 1,000,000 torps now. And always the same with the battleships. They just sit AFK for so long and then they just die in seconds because, well, you're completely alone now. Your team died and you decided to not take part in the battle. So no fire prevention Satsuma, so permafires would immediately get me over 200k basically. Let's see if we can manage. There's one. Withera 2. Double. Yeah, there's a lot of damage coming in from the Satsuma. Finally, when he makes it into range, he's actually eating damage. There is a Bremen pushing it into C. And a Borg up my ass, and the Shiki died, so I think I'm gonna give a bit of ground. Also angled against the carrier planes. Triple fire? Oh no, I just relit the same spot, I think. Okay. Oh, the carrier is not striking me. Lucky me. Yeah, late game here, when the BBs finally enter my range, you can see that the damage is finally coming up and working. Instant Arsonist. Gonna work on that Bremen real quick. The guy's gonna game out turn, so I'll load AP real quick. There's no way this Borg shot me again and not the Patrie, but hey, whatever. Gotta get moving a bit. The Bremen is kind of getting a bit sus here. Shooting back, realizing that he will never go dark because there's a plane in the air. Plane got the perma. I got perma on me too. Oof. That's a bit rough. He's actually hitting. Didn't move. I'm gonna die. And I want to trade him though. The cap is forever ours. Yep, there you go. Okay. We traded with the Bremen, so the game is going to be a win. 955. We can even wait that out for a second. Anapol is also going to die. Probably a rage for Anapol, honestly, the way he played. I think otherwise he had to be even closer. But yeah, 269k for Lighthouse Hinden. I said, like, Hindenburg over Lighthouse is definitely over 200k average, and in my opinion also, like, it has higher average than it's easier to farm the average, and I think it has higher like highest potential or higher potential for high average than Bremen, just because it's easier to farm and you pen more. Also, your damage is a bit more impactful than Bremen because you do penetrate with HE, and pen damage always beats fire damage. But yeah, pretty high damage game. Let's go over the spec real quick and play a second one. Made it work on Ocean somehow, even though I got fisted in the beginning. So for this Lighthouse spec, same as before. Like, I think it's the same modules you take on that you take on Zao. I personally don't think this is worth it. After they change it, this one here, like the new patch that's coming, maybe you can run or you could run leg mod on Lighthouse spec. I think it's fine. Otherwise, same modules as always. You kind of need the fighter one too, spotter one too, because, well, you run reload mod, so your range is in only 17.8, which is pretty cool. It was really cool back in the days, but now every cruiser somehow gets 18 or 19 base range for some reason. And then on the captain, it's a bit of a difference. You don't take or you don't need superintendent because you come with 4 heals base. You can take survivability expert and just straight up get more DPM. Not DPM, HP. But yeah, that's the Lighthouse spec for Hinden. And I mean, look, it's simple with the Bremen versus Hindenburg scenario. If people don't play or didn't play Lighthouse Hindenburg in the past years, there is I don't know how they're able to judge the Bremen Hindenburg difference. I think you could talk to John as well about this, that like Clausewitz was already undervalued by a lot. Lighthouse Hindenburg is or was the highest probably damage output Lighthouse spec on tier 10 before, just because it penetrates everything. Like, the penetration is the key. Also, the AP still has obscene DPM on Hindenburg, and it's way easier to hit, and you can Citadel cruises, which Bremen can't really. So, like, if you haven't played a Lighthouse Hinden in 4 years, please don't judge, or like, I would personally hope that we stop judging Bremen being better or worse than Hinden when we have no clue what the fuck a Lighthouse Hinden does. As said multiple times also on stream, the key for me here is that you get the penetration against the meta BBs. For example, Bremen wouldn't pen Valparaiso, Hindenburg actually does. Bremen doesn't pen Pommern deck, Hinden does. Bremen, I think the Izumo also gets penned. I could check the armor scheme now, but I think Izumo is something with 50-51, so I should pen it. But the most important thing is I penetrate Colombo deck, I penetrate Vermeer everywhere, I penetrate with HE obviously at mid to long range, that's what I'm going at, and I penetrate Libertard. So my damage output against those ships is just way more consistent and higher, and I personally judge a ship based on how well can I deal with, for example, a decent player, which means, for example, he runs fire prevention on his BBs. So how well do I deal with a fire prevention Vermeer, Libertard, Colombo that has hands? And not, can I farm a Montana faster than a Hindenburg? Well, obviously you can with Bremen, because you get the 38 pen while you retain way more DPM. So yeah, cool. That is true. But the Demented Monty is probably not an issue anyways. The issue is the sap clicker or the secondary monster that's walking at me and getting me out of position, or fisting me for 1 million damage at any angle. That's the problem. Like, no one gives a fuck about the or like, no one really cares about the idiots. You can kill them anyways, no matter what you do. It's like nothing special. By the way, like the flat Irisarge, so we obviously go for the AP forehead angle. Looking for those big chunks. There you go. We're already getting the big chunks. The entire enemy BB fleet is walking over here, which is obviously amazing. Yeah. People got carried away a bit by the reload. In the end, I felt like, and I mean, John also said the same thing, people really undervalued Hinden and Clausewitz anyways in terms of farming, because the pen damage is just a lot more oppressive than having to wait for fires to deal the necessary damage to get something out of the game. So, yeah, well, I mean, maybe Bremen does a bit more damage here against the Kearsarge if I manage to hit, because I can shoot like basically twice as fast as something. But, well, easier for me to hit with this thing. And now I can just farm ships with platings that Bremen couldn't. Very simple for me. We're not even going deeper into the flank because crossing the gap on my left between the islands is pretty sus in a lighthouse spec if you see that many BBs coming to your flank already. And also there's no reason to really go deeper because the Valparaiso may start walking it straight up. And then I have to have instantaneous farm on him. Very important. Very, very important. Our enemy team is here. Even DD is here. Okay, the Valpa will cross the gap, so I will get my AP ready. Just gotta stay outside of the secondary range of that piece of shit, so it doesn't get the F key, and then we should be fine. I can just farm it over time. Sadly, I have battleship monkeys up front that actually give him the F key willingly, which is obviously a fucking disaster. He's also turning in 2 seconds, because rudder shift is so balanced on this thing. That is a fully anti-fire duration Pommern. Okay. We lost full farm angle on everything. After the plane went down. Trying to reverse in again. Could turn my back turrets on the... I'm like trying to keep an angle to fuck the Valparaiso in case he comes up with some really dumb idea. Also, the black has Hydra on the Jaeger, so we help him out real quick. Oh, nice little hit there. Dispersion is obviously working really well. Second shot is bullshit because it's a rat car. Okay. Guy's dead. Kearsarge may reverse out too much, which would allow me to punch it with AP again. Okay, it has to reverse quite a long time to get to give me AP angle. Well, this guy's dead. The black hits the torps. Lulz. No. Black torps do have some crazy alpha, not gonna lie. If not for the Valpa, I would already be pushing. Or turning it around and pushing. But the Valpa is obviously a bit of a problem. My BBs on the left side are actually playing really well. Kind of. They're not dying, they're keeping people on rocks. I think also someone is just gonna walk around now and kill the Valparaiso. That's at least what it looks like. Kearsarge is never angle, so well, there you go. More and more AP DPM is being exchanged on his forehead. That one doesn't work. Every shot being like 10k is pretty cool. The Valpa is dead. Yep, the Valpa is dead. No farming on Valpa. Thought maybe, you know. My BBs will die over there the way it looks. I don't even get the kill. I get that kill, okay. Well, crazy. There were 3 BBs here that could have netted a lot of damage, but somehow my BB survived it and actually traded the Valpa straight. Valpa also played it kind of like an idiot, but that's a different topic. We have a Thunder on the border. We can just push through the middle now, or like through the cap now into their base and cut off the Thunder on the border. The Pommern died now. The Dremel will die too, most likely. But probably trade the Thunderer, because the Thunderer is just sitting flat on the border and turning even more flat. So I guess the Kreml just gets the kill here. Would be surprising if the front guns here of the Kreml that close don't get a good hit. But we will see, we will see. Got a perma there. I could load AP too, to be real. Yeah, there you go. That's just sad, like you don't get any sort of damage out of this flank because everyone's just inting it from kind of both sides. The CQ Johnny will be dealt with. We'll try to make it into base and into their Audacious and Bremen. Once again, pretty bad fight for me though. Like Hindenburg doesn't really like to push into other kited cruisers. Obviously you're pretty large and immaneuverable, so you're most likely gonna die to that. Do be knocking turrets though, potentially. Oh wait, we have the Haaland. Gonna Hydro now. I wanna eat Haaland Pete's, that would be kinda shit. Already got Confed. Well, at least there's that. So, the Zhao games weren't like that engaging, and the Hindenburg games, I mean, I like the Hindenburg a bit more just because it's more DPM, more shooting, more penetration, more damage number. Like Hindenburg with Lighthouse at least produces obscene damages. But yeah, definitely pretty boring playstyle. As you could see, most of the games you just sit kited and you farm. And unless you pump a lot of damage, this is kind of not really... Oh, you can't really argue for it. Like it's not... or you shouldn't play Lighthouse builds or something if you don't pump the damage from distance in kite, perma-kite. Yeah, it's okay, Andalusia. I don't know why I'm the target here, but... there's probably a reason for that, surely. Surely there's a reason for that. Incredible that he actually gets citadels. I think Andalusia already gets the 220s, right? 230s or something. Where is it? Oh no, that's the wrong ship. Lulz. Oh, wait, we have the carrier. Gotta kill the CV, gotta kill the CV. At least we get to pelt the asshole. Oh. He's turning more flat to us, okay. Well. Okay, 0 damage. I got 1 citadel there. I will break 200k probably again. Turned around fast enough. See, that's always the thing with the lighthouse specs or kite cruises. You gotta still turn around fast enough to go into their spawn and hunt down extra damage. That's kind of important. Otherwise you always end up with these games where you have like 120, 30, 40k and then the game is over. Because everything is dead. Okay, got this guy out, and I'm going for the... Oh. Kill that man. Don't know where the Haaland goes. So, 2 really good games, honestly. Like, the moment you're above 200k in Lighthouse Kingdom, you obviously beat your kind of average. Like, 200, 210 is probably what you can get away with. Maybe a bit more if the matchmaking is right. Like, at the moment, there's so many BBs that you can probably do 220, 230. Yes, those are actual tier 10 ship numbers. And I would highly doubt that Lighthouse Bremen is able to get to those numbers as easy as Hinden. But hey, that's just my 5 cents on the topic. I feel like being able to hit shots easier, like salvos easier because they have better arcs and everything, is a pretty important thing to notice or note. Like I would say that shouldn't be underestimated. It's the same on the battleships. Battleships that can hit stuff easier are obviously easier to play. Like people hit with Slava and Wisconsin easier than with other BBs. Therefore, I would say gotta give that a bit more value on the guns. Well, I couldn't hit the Haaland for 1 single shell, and the game is now over. Unlucky. We won't get that Haaland kill, unfortunately. But hey, 2 decent games. I think, well, yeah, for example, if you have 2 little steel, like you could definitely think about just grinding Hinden and getting a Lutyens on that one and playing that one Lighthouse if you really want to. The Bremen, I personally play the Bremen with concealment anyways. Maybe I'll get, I don't know, maybe I'll buy a few more crates, get a golden version and play it with Lighthouse and see how it goes. I would generally say though that Hinden probably here in this entire debate with the Bremen is completely undervalued, and in the end I would actually say it's a better ship. Maybe I can debate that more, that topic with John the Roofless, the Mr. Lighthouse. But yeah, 2 decent games. This one could have been way bigger, obviously, if the enemy team is a lot better on the BBs on my flank than mine. My BB's int and I can farm the enemy BBs. We're looking at like a 350, 400k game maybe. Also, the Valparaiso would have yielded a lot of damage, I think, if he pushes. Could have lost us the game, but I would have gotten big damage number. So yeah. Yeah, that's it for Hinden. I'll do older cruisers probably next again. Probably, like I said, Des Moines, maybe a Marseille. Like a pretty good old cruisers that are hard to play. Otherwise, you can always suggest something, because I'm kind of out of ideas what people really want to see with the ships. So you could just put it in the comments. And I'll see you tomorrow for another vid or in stream. Adios.